Was that the worst U.S. Open in the history of golf? A lot of people are really kind of up in arms about so much having to do with the Los Angeles Country Club, the coverage, everything that's going on that happened with this current U.S. Open. Congratulations, Wyndham Clark. Well-deserved win. You just came through like a champion, and that was fantastic. I was a little bummed. I was rooting for Rickie. It was cool to have him in the mix. Sadly, he had a Rickie final round Sunday. Oh my gosh, I would, if I'm Rickie, you got to change it up. Don't wear orange. Get rid of the orange. Don't do it. It's not working. You're not Tiger. Tiger wore red, but he's got, he wouldn't win. Rickie so I would just change it. You got a new coach. You got a new caddy. Your game's looking sharp. Get rid of the orange. Let's revamp, makeover time for Rickie Fowler. I love it. I'm a fan of Rickie Fowler, rooting for him all the way. And then he shows up in the orange again. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. Please don't, please. And it's just after the first hole, second hole, you're just like, oh, come on. And it's just sad. You just saw it coming, and pretty brutal. But congratulations, Wyndham Clark came through like a champ. Great up and downs. That was fantastic. I love that. A lot of people hated, the tee times Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I hated them. At first glance, I was like, wow, I live on the East Coast now. I'm from California. I lived in LA. 20 plus years, many years. I've played Los Angeles Country Club twice. We'll get into that in a minute. But what did you think of the tee times, especially Saturday? I mean, we didn't start watching he didn't tee off till literally 4 p.m. local time. So I was watching till 11 o'clock at night. I was exhausted on Sunday. Sunday we went till 10 p.m. It was ridiculous. I don't think that's a good idea. Saturday they finished nearly in the dark, and that marine layer, if you're not familiar with it, this is the time of year where you get the clouds that come off the ocean. It's just a big temperature change from the deserts, not too much farther east from the golf course, and the cool ocean, and you get this weather pattern called the marine layer. Clouds from the ocean roll in. They typically hang around till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then they burn off, and then they come back in the evening when it gets cooler. So that's what was going on there on Saturday evening, plus the darkness. Not fair, uncool. Rickie missed a little 3.5 footer on 18 to get a bogey, and you don't know if sunlight had anything to do with that or not. Wyndham had just made birdie, so who knows? But regardless, he could have said, I'm not going to putt it. I'm going to wait till tomorrow morning. But then you got to come back early, and whole big fiasco. Did you or did you not like the tee times? I did not like them. It's a bit late to be watching golf, and especially on Sunday. I like to chill out in the afternoon, watch some golf. We're done. Then have dinner with the family and just have a great Sunday evening together. That's what I like. Here, it's Father's Day, so that's cool. We do a bunch of stuff with the family, have lunch, great time, and then watched a movie with my wife, and then we watched the U.S. Open. My gosh, there was a lot of, it went late, okay? I did not like that. It's too late. It's too long. I prefer earlier tee times. I don't know whose idea this was. Because what if there's a playoff? You don't have enough time to really have a real playoff, because that could run into darkness, and then you could have to come back Monday anyways and finish up. Just plan for extra time. It shouldn't be dark. So I did not like that. I could get past it. All right, what did you think? Comment below. Oh, and by the way, if you would like your 7 Diamonds gear, I got a code down there in the video description below. So a lot of cool stuff. Get your 7 Diamonds golf attire. They have everything. Men went for not just golf, everything. Link below for 7 Diamonds. So a lot of people we're talking about the NBC coverage of the U.S. Open, that how horrible it was. Now, I didn't have a problem with a lot of it. It was okay. Like, I don't normally get too nitpicky with the commentating and the cover, although it's typically not great. I do think CBS does a really good job most of the time, and their on-course commentators are great. NBC, however, I do like Brad Faxon, and I've always been a fan of Paul Azinger. For the most part, he's pretty good. A lot of people really railed him for his call with Wyndham on the ninth hole when he's chipping. Basically, he said there's no way he could get this close, and then he chips it onto the green, and he said, he's not going to hit the slope, and it does hit the slope. And he's like, okay, it'll stop right there, and it doesn't. It goes to like 3 feet, and he makes par. So he was totally wrong about the entire call, which was very bizarre. And it just, what the problem is, for me, it kind of shines a light on the fact that you did not go to that green that morning and check it out. Now, if I'm a commentator, and that's my job, every day I would walk the course or go to every green every morning. That's what I would do. I would do it during the practice rounds. I would walk the entire course and just look at lines and see where you're going to hit it off the tee box. That's what I would do. And then I would take a wedge and a putter, and I would chip around every green and putt on every green just to try to understand what the green is doing. And then every morning before that day's round, I would chip and putt to that whole location. That's what I would do, so that I could tell the viewer which way it breaks and what they might think it does versus what it actually does. And so if he had done that, he would have known exactly what would have happened. And if you don't know exactly what's going to happen, don't say it. Just keep your mouth shut. So I get it. Look, if you're going to say something like that, you deserve to kind of get punished on Twitter, because that's fine, right? You could be wrong, but I just think it showed that you didn't really do your work ahead of time. I don't think some of the other people would have done it. Like, as much as I'm not a Brandel Chambly fan, the guy does his homework. You got to give credit where credit is due. He researches everything. He is well prepared, and he's ready to commentate and give his opinion on whatever it is he's going to talk about. He does his homework. And I felt like it didn't seem like Paul Azinger really did his homework, especially there, and oh boy, did his show. So that was a rough one for me. Something that I really, really struggled with also was this: when Wyndham Clark made his last putt, nobody interviewed him on the green. There was no Amanda Baliones or Renner, whatever her name is currently. Like, she wasn't there. She's a great interview. Where's the person to interview the winner right after the last putt? Where is that? Where's Amanda Renner? Where is she? She's with CBS, so we had nobody. The guy lost his mom. His mom died of cancer. He's emotional, and just what he went through. And he said he was going to be cocky and play cocky. And where is the immediate interview with the raw emotion? That's where you get the best interviews. You grab them, you talk to them, you're in the mix with them. You're feeling and experiencing the emotion of the winner at that particular time. The viewer didn't get it at all. We were robbed. Honestly, it's a way to pull in and become a part of the win of that person. And it does the winner even a favor, especially if it's somebody like, if it were Rickie. Gosh, Rickie struggled for so long. What if he had won? No interview right there? You kidding me? What if Rory had won? Same thing. He hasn't won a major in a long time. Nothing? What? But it's Wyndham. Great story. Got his first win not too long ago. Where's the interview? I struggled with that. Let me know what you think about that. Were you looking for it? Were you like, what's going on? Where's the person? Like, are we going to talk to this guy? Is anybody going to ask him a question? Where's anybody? Somebody get out there and talk to the guy. There was nothing. That's a big fail by CBS. So, or not CBS. CBS does it right. NBC, huge blunder right there. That hurt. That hurt me. Let me know what you think as well. So for me, that was it. That was a huge problem. A lot of people are also talking about the golf course, how it's not a major course. Even like I guess Brooks Koepka expressed his dislike for this golf course. Matt Fitzpatrick, he as well. There was a few players who really said, I don't really like it. It's not for me. I don't like it. And I read a lot of that on Twitter and the internet, how people are like, this course is not what it is. And I can, firsthand knowledge, I've played LA Country Club twice. And it is one of my favorite courses of all time. Okay, so the same person designed that as like Riviera. Okay, so, and we've seen Riviera a lot on television, so I can compare it to Riv. Here's what I would say is, at Riviera, you have some iconic holes, like the 10th hole, for example, that drivable par 4 at Riviera. So that's incredible. And LA Country Club has a very similar hole, the 6th hole, drivable par 4. But forget about that. Just think about this. Riviera has an iconic hole, that 10th hole, where you're like, wow, this is an iconic hole. We're going to remember this forever. Every time you go to Riv, that's one of those holes where you're like, okay, this is going to be cool to watch. LA Country Club has like 12 of those holes, whereas Riv has the 10th hole, the super unique hole. LACC has about 10 to 12 of those. So they have a lot of those holes. So if you're not used to it and you don't play it very often and it's your first look, it's going to feel a little weird and awkward because you have so many different ways to play a particular hole. And LACC, they have a few, I would say, like throwaway holes that are just kind of like the first hole, for example. Short par 5 going downwind. For the most part, you're going to get a birdie. There's nothing really spectacular about that hole. And, okay. 2, it's a little better. 3, that's kind of cool hole. 4, yeah. And then 5 is, it's okay. 6 is the super unique one. And what's interesting is the 7th hole is almost as long as 6, and it's a par 3 versus a par 4. However, 7, there's another tee box that they could back up for members. Like they'll back it up occasionally and make it a par 4. And so they can have a 71 par or 72 par hole. They take that par 3, turn it into a par 4. It would have been a little strange because you would have had 2 drivable par 4s back to back. It would have been kind of like very similar hole, but very different in the way of, like, one was a blind tee shot, and a lot of people don't like these blind tee shots, so they didn't like that. And then obviously like 11, super unique hole, super long, very spectacular looking par 3, nearly 300 yards. Even though you don't have to play at 300, you could carry it like 230 and it'll roll up onto the green. So regardless of that, there were just a lot more of those style of holes at LA Country Club than there are at, let's say, Riviera. Now, I think if they played at LACC every year for just a regular PGA Tour event, then more players would really like it. Because it's one of those super, super amazing, fantastic, you will remember every hole if you play there. And that's what makes that place, it's so special. Not just the holes and the design of it, because you really have to experience it to appreciate it. And if you do, or you get the opportunity, you'll know what I'm talking about. So it's hard to really do it justice. You look at it from television, they didn't really do it the justice that it's due. And I think there's a way to do it to really give people an appreciation for it. And I don't think they captured that. And I don't know, one way would be like have a group play it. Like, dude, you don't want to watch them play it, but you would have a group of regular golfers play it and just show clips of it and highlight, make a little 2 or 3 minute package video of them playing and how they struggle, and kind of make it like an every person type of round. And if they did that, and these people, you would see them in bits and pieces playing certain holes, I think the viewer would have a lot better like appreciation for the golf course. But whatever, there's a million different ways to do that. Regardless, for me, it would be like, of the courses I've played, Cypress Point would be number one. Number two, I would put LA Country Club. Then I would put Riviera. Then I would go with like TPC Sawgrass. Kind of my top four of courses that I've played. I haven't played Augusta. I haven't played Pine Valley, and maybe those would be up there. I haven't played St. Andrews, so I don't know there. But right now, like LA Country Club, of courses I've played, and I played Cypress Point. I played Pebble Beach. I wouldn't put Pebble up there. Maybe top 10, but LA Country Club for me right now is like sitting number 2 on the list of courses I've played. It is that phenomenal. And the homes that are there are spectacular. Obviously, it's in an area of real estate that it would be like Beverly Hills, and then it's better than that neighborhood. It's Holmby Hills is what it's called, and it's whatever you think of Beverly Hills, then Bel Air would be the next level higher. Holmby Hills is even higher. That's where think about this. On the 14th hole, the tee box, they talked a lot about the former Playboy Mansion sits right there. Well, just a couple houses down was the Spelling Manor, Aaron Spelling. So this thing sold for like nearly $100 million not too long ago. And Lionel Richie's house is right there on the 4th hole. This real estate homes are going for 50, 60, 70, $100 million. So that's the neighborhood this golf course is in. I think they estimated that. I mean, the real estate value of that golf course is in the billions of dollars, like $10 billion probably, for the land that it sits on. That's where it is. Which brings us to our next thing that is really probably hurt this U.S. Open more than anything else I've ever witnessed in terms of U.S. Opens. Go back and look at last year's U.S. Open. Go look at Torrey Pines U.S. Open recently. Go back and look at Pinehurst U.S. Opens and any other U.S. Open for that matter. This one, they had 23,000 fans, tickets sold per day. Okay. Compare that to, let's say, Waste Management in Phoenix, Scottsdale. They sell 100,000. So, okay, they're selling, well, considerably. Why so few? That's one of the first questions you want to ask yourself. Why so few fans, 23,000? Well, 14,000 of those are corporate seats and like the high-end, like the boxes and the high-end tickets. 9,000 are general admission tickets. Okay. So you're like, oh, all right, 9,000 go to the general public. The real golf fans, in other words, there's only 9,000 of the real hardcore fans. People who are like, I got to get a ticket. I got to go see my favorite player. I got to go watch a U.S. Open. There's 9,000 tickets a day. That's nothing. That's hardly any. And here's what is rumored to have happened. LACC membership costs currently, it's roughly around $250,000 to join. They have a no celebrity policy, and the members there, for the most part, are going to be paying $1,200 to $1,500 a month in just dues. That's not counting your food and beverage and your caddy fees and whatever else you're paying for while you're there, right? Your locker, and there's all these kind of things. You're paying a lot, but $250 just to get in, and you got to be invited. You can't be a celebrity. They've got all these things. And then think about all the real estate nearby. Like Lionel Richie lives there. These are the homes that are in that neighborhood. And rumor has it that the members and the neighbors bought up as many of those 9,000 tickets as possible so that people wouldn't come. Like they could just block them. They wouldn't use them. The tickets weren't. So we don't even know how many went in. We know how many were sold, but how many went in? They're not telling us. So, I mean, are they releasing that? If you know, but I don't believe they're releasing how many tickets were actually got in, how many people went through the gate. They're just telling us how many tickets were sold. So the rumor is that the members and the community bought as many, and they could afford every ticket, but can they get them all? When they go on sale, they're going to get out. So the rumor is that they didn't want people there. They didn't want people in their neighborhood. They didn't want people clogging up their streets. They didn't want people looking at their clubhouse. They didn't want people on their property. They wanted as few people to be on site as possible. And that, one, keep them out, keep the community from traffic. And so they wouldn't obstruct the views of the members who were going to be there. And one of the things was there was no grandstand really behind the 18th hole. They didn't want to block the clubhouse, and because people were chilling out there on the veranda or whatever, the outdoor patio area of the clubhouse, and you could watch them tee off, and you could watch them on 1, and you could watch them on 18. And if they had clubhouses, grandstands there, then you would block their view. Yet every U.S. Open has full grandstands around the 18th hole. Not here. It was just on one of the sides, and that's it. And then there was corporate boxes down the first hole. So because of all this, people are saying, oh, this is absolutely horrible. Where are the fans? Where are the people? Why are there so few tickets sold? How come nobody's here? Nobody's cheering. It looked okay on television because all the people would kind of gather around the final group, but there were plenty of holes out there where you're looking and you're like, where is everybody? And even in the boxes on Saturday, you're like, why? How come no one's in the sky boxes? How come you would think those were packed? It seemed like there was more people at a live event than the actual U.S. Open. It didn't make any sense, and it was weird. So I'm a fan of golf, so I like to see good golf, and that's a lot of fun, and I love that course, and I had played it a couple times. So for me, I just kind of enriched and tranced myself in that environment and the memories I had of being there and playing there, and had some of my greatest, let's say, golf memories there because I played in a competition and we were playing out at LA Country Club. So that was an exciting time, very memorable. So I was able to look at some of the Sunday pins and say, oh, that's where the pin was when I played my competition at LACC on this hole and that hole and this hole. So I was able to say, oh, okay, I know this pin. I know what this does. I know what this does. And I just didn't really think about the no fans and all the other stuff going on. But as I read the comments of everybody, it was concerning. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let me know what you think. What did you think of this U.S. Open? Did you like it? Did you think there were fans were there or were they not there? What do you think about the rumors that they were buying up all the tickets? Does the USGA need to kind of reevaluate itself? They're supposed to come back there, I think 2039 or something ridiculous. It's so far away. Whatever. I don't even know. But I think that they schedule these things so far out there, they don't have time to kind of, whoa, hold on. Let's restructure things. Let's do things a little different. Let's go somewhere different. And it was odd. I will go as far as that. It was odd. The NBC coverage was strange, and there was a lot of weird things going on. But whatever your thoughts are on that, comment below. Let me know. Get your seven diamonds. Link below. Thanks for listening. Good luck out there. See you soon.